I'm back, I'm biased, I'm bothered, and I am always unfiltered. If you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. But you still haven't managed to worthy up. Not to worry, let's get into this mess. This episode of Sister Wives is called Courting Failure, and I do actually understand why. In our very opening scene, I noticed the first failure, okay? It's Christine's living room. Look at the goddamn carpet. What the hell is going on here? Like, what's with this whole room in general? Like the curtains, the TV wires just hanging down like by the wall. Stick that through the goddamn wall, you know? Also, we get a very bald, very adorable, truly Maggie Simpson just running around in a nappy, you know. Like Christine obviously knows that the cameras are going to be there, but you know, it is what it is. I'm telling you, lads, we're never going to have another reality TV family like the Browns. Anyway, Christine is telling us that she's studying for the real estate test because she failed the last time. Now she got 73 and she needs to get a 75 to pass, right? But as Christine is studying, as she's trying to do all of this, I noticed that Brianna is there in Christine's house. Like the child is actually there, you know. I guarantee you she'd be able to have a bowl of cereal. I guarantee you Christine wouldn't be taken that way. That's probably why she's there. She's probably hungry. Anyway, I do have to say, right? Christine's house looks like shit. It really does. But she tells us that on a good day, she can study for 15 minutes. I don't think that's enough, Christine. But she does say that failing the first time was one of many failures. Oh my God, my heart broke when she said that. I want her to pass this test so bad. I know she never sells anything. That's beside the point, right? I do want her to pass it. Now we're on to fail number two, okay? And that's Mary's tan. What the fuck is going on here? This looks terrible. Do you know what she looks like? She looks like a leather glove. It's awful. It's awful looking. Anyway, this is all filmed between the sofa and the cul-de-sac. So we find out the family is going to look like in the cul-de-sac because the houses finally, okay, finally, we are breaking ground. So we're bringing the kids, we're going to show them, everybody is excited. Of course, you know what's going to happen. Yeah, Robin has to bring it all down, right? So Robin is saying, it's been a long time since she had a permanent home. I thought, what? Well, go back then, Robin. Go back and live with like stepdaddy and your mother, you know? No, she always has to bring everything down. I'm sick of it. Like, just be excited like everybody else is. Now we're getting a confessional from the older kids. Oh, I do have to say, yeah, fail number three, right? McKelty's blue leather jacket over the orange top. Who told this kid like that this looks good? It doesn't. It doesn't look good. Anyway, they're looking forward to living in the houses because they're all going to be beside each other again. Because you have to remember, like, these all grew up together. So we're back at the cul-de-sac and we're all like, you know, happy. We're all doing a cheers like to celebrate the new house. And I thought, hang on a second. Why the hell has Robin got the camera? Like, that's Mary's job. Why is she doing that? Mary always takes the family pictures. I didn't like that Robin was doing that. I also wanted to know, right? What do you reckon they're drinking? I'd look. They're the questions I have, right? That's what I want to know. But then we find out, right, that even after all of this, like even after all of this shenanigans, like all the picking out of stuff, there's still no guarantee that they are gonna get these houses. I thought, well, why are you doing this? Like, don't be bringing the kids here and telling them. Anyway, we're back in Christine's house, okay? Oh, now we go into McKelty's bedroom and we see a mattress just on the floor. Like the mattress is just on the floor, right? And the baby's cot is in McKelty's bedroom, but there's clothes just thrown like over the cot. And McKelty is telling us that she's interested in fashion. I thought, are you really though? Like, because her dream is to be a world class fashion designer. But like, I'm looking at the pictures of McKelty's wall. They're shite, right? They're shite. Now we're having a confessional with Christine, Kody, and McKelty on the sofa. And Christine and Kody think it's a great idea that McKelty wants to be a world famous fashion designer. Now, my parents, I have to say, are my biggest cheerleaders, right? They really are. But you know what? They're not afraid to knock me down a peg or two. They're really not. Because when I was a kid, I wanted to be a professional swimmer. That's what I had in my head, right? That I was going to do as a career. Now, when I say that my parents would knock me down a peg or two, it's because they weren't delusional, you know. Now my father would do it in a bit more of a gentle way. My father would say like, "Oh yeah, you're great, love, you're great," you know. But you do need to go to college and you do need to get an education. just in case like that doesn't work out, you know. Now my mother was more like straight to the bone kind of a person because my mother would say, "Oh yeah, you love someone, that's great, that's great. That's a hobby, sweetheart. That's a hobby. You need to go to college, you need to get a job, and you need to be able to support yourself, like, you know, as a human being making their way through life. That's how that's gonna work." But you know, like, because you have to be honest with people. Everybody needs everybody needs a big cheerleader, okay? But everybody needs a big cheerleader who's at least going to be honest with them. They should be telling McKelty, yeah, that's great. It's a hobby though, sweetheart. You know, you need to go to college because we know this doesn't go anywhere. And we also know that she's going to be flogging LuLaRoe like online, you know, pretty soon. Anyway, we're off to a place called Emergency Art on Fremont Centre. And McKelty is going to be a fashion designer named Jennifer Henry. Now, I want you to take a look at McKelty's shoes, okay? I want you to take a look at them. Now, I was wondering, did she borrow these from Robin from the engagement picture? Oh, did she? Now, I do have news about that, but you probably already know it, like the picture that's in like the new season, the trailer. But anyway, if you don't know about it and you want me to tell you, let me know and I'll tell you all about it. I'll stick up a little video. Anyway, Jennifer Henry, right? We're seeing some of her original designs. So this dress is made from cellophane and just other kinds of crap, right? It's very toddlers and tiaras, but it's plastic and for adults. It's kind of like oh, did anybody watch My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding? I loved that. I loved that show. I don't know whether anybody's seen it or not, but it's very much like that, okay? But like anyway, this thing is orange, poofy, ruffled plastic over more red plastic like skirts, right? With a white poofy plastic bodice and just this red like piece of ribbon as a belt. It's hideous, right? This thing is awful looking. Anyway, the model who's going to wear this dress, she has to have her hair and makeup done, and like she's going to be put into this dress, but then she's going to be taken to a location like and have the photographs done. So the model is getting into this dress. Now she has a bra on, and she has what looks kind of like a paper skirt, you know. And Kody is saying, like, because he's such a gentleman that he left the room like as soon as he seen her. And I thought, why the hell are you in this girl's changing room in the first place, Kody? Surely if you were a gentleman, you would say, oh, hang on, that's the girl's changing room, so I'm just gonna wait outside, you know? That's what popped into my mind. Why the hell is he there? Now, apparently he left because he has no business looking at another woman like that. And I thought, hang on a second, Kody, you were literally just on the beach in California and everybody was in their swimming togs. So I don't understand this, okay? I don't. I don't understand like the rules, you know? Anyway, we're hearing from McKelty. Now she says that she understands the modesty rules in her family because like it's their religion. But I will say I'm very distracted by this blue leather jacket, but also the eyebrows. Who the hell done this to her? Take that tweezers away. Anyway, we find out that they can't go to the actual photo shoot because it's at Lake Las Vegas. Now, Mackenzie she looks like a giant standing beside Christine and Kody in these huge heels. She really does. So we're back in Christine's house. Can somebody explain this cooker arrangement to me? What the hell is going on? Because it's in the living room and there's pictures just above it and there's a bin, a mixer, like a sweeping brush on or beside this cooker. And like, where the hell is the extractor fan? I'm very confused over this layout of this living room. Why the hell is the cooker even in there? Anyway, we find out that on the practice exam, Christine only got 71, right? Now that's 2 points less than she got the last time when she failed. Oh no. But Isabel is very upset that Christine didn't pass because she doesn't want Christine to be studying and ignoring her. And I thought, well, she's only like studying for 15 minutes a day. Like, how much time is Isabel actually losing here, you know? Anyway, Christian says that moving to Vegas has really taken its toll on the kids and on the relationship between like the sister wives because basically they're all separate, you know. But she also feels that qualifying for the loans was like successful and she needs another success. Now I have to say we're getting fail number 4, which is probably one of my best fails, right? It's my sister wife's closet. Now this is all taking place in Robin's house, because of course it is, you know. So we're meeting a guy named Brian Hall. He's a web designer for my sister wife's closet. Now, Robin is describing this as an online boutique. It's actually Timu, but before we had Timu, you know. Anyway, we're finding out that my sister wife's closet, okay, is about to be launched to the world. This is the big launch of it, right? And we see this, okay? We see this guy's computer, and we see my sister wife's closet.com. I love it. I love the name, right? Oh, I wanted to let you know. This was launched on Sunday, the 24th of June at 9 a.m. That right there, guys, that right there is history, okay? That's the history that our kids should be learning about in school. You know the way nobody knows what history Robin learned about in school? Yeah. Well, our next generation, okay? That's what we need to be teaching the kids. We need to be teaching them this kind of history. Anyway, so there's only like 73 people on the site. And then it jumps up to like 210 people. And everybody thinks this is great, right? Everybody is very excited, but also like they're very nervous. Now bear in mind, right? That Sister Wives, like this was peak Sister Wives, right? They had millions of viewers every week from all over the world. Like everybody was, well, when I say everybody, but it was like worldwide. Do you know what I mean? Like it was international. That's a lot of advertising. And then we find out, right, that they got up to 300 people online. I thought that's not good. That is not good at all. But nobody is buying anything. Now, Cody reckons that a financial setback would be devastating. You know, like it would if this was to flop. And I thought, well, that's exactly what's going to happen, Cody. Because, you know, Rob's wanted to do this, so you went ahead and pumped all your money into this, right? But Mary is reading out what somebody has to say about like the site. And what it's like what this person has to say is like what about real mothers who want to buy something without having like to mortgage their home? I completely agree, but I did love that Mary is laughing. But like they're really just trying to justify the price. And Robin is letting us know that it's sterling silver. Now we get some pictures of the jewellery. Now I have to say, right, the SW is my personal favourite. Let me know what your one is, right? But I love the SW. I just love it so it's just working for me, you know. So we find out that they got like 28 orders, okay? And like they're after pumping all of their money into this and they got 28 orders on launch day while they're on like a reality TV show that is being like broadcasted millions. Oh, but the family think that my sister wife's closet is going to like be able to fund the 4 new homes. I'm telling you, this is why you need people in your life to say to you, yeah, yeah, that's grand, right? But also, like, you need to do something else because it's not going to work out. You can't be feeding into people's delusion because this is where it'll get you, you know? Anyway, it's the next day and Christina's off to take the test, right? And truly, Maggie Simpson is just plopped in front of the computer. I think she's watching Dora the Explorer. Now, Christine is saying that she's feeling like she's a single mother. I thought, well, that's basically because you are. But she's leaving, okay? Now, take a look at the screen, right? Because she's saying goodbye to Kody. What the hell is blurred out on the blinds? I can't make it out. And I've gone back and looked at it, I don't know how many times. What the hell is this? What is blurred out? I don't understand it and it's driving me mad. Anyway, while Christine is going to be taking this test, the rest of the family are going to the park, like, and they're going to wait for her. Now, Cody says that he doesn't think she's going to pass, right? That's what he said. Now, Janelle is not sure, but she does say that Christine has been studying and that the last time she failed, it was only by about like 2 or 3%. Like, she didn't fail by loads, you know. But of course, Robin has to chime in and she lets us know that Christine even failed her practice test. Of course, she has to let everybody know that. Then I got very distracted, okay, by Janelle's top. It reminds me of a pina colada that I had in Spain. That's exactly what it looks like, okay? It was all white and flowery and gorgeous looking. It was delicious, by the way. Anyway, Christine arrives at the park. Now, the family, right, they're going to have something to eat. And Cody is letting us know that he's starving, so he wants, like, Christine to hurry up and tell them. Anyway, she has passed this test. I thought, thank God, Isabel can have her mommy back now. Now, Christine is hoping that she's going to be able to sell a house and get a huge commission check and pay all the bills. I thought that's not going to happen. But you know what? I'm going to give it to her, okay? Because I love the intention behind it. And I believe that the intention was genuine. Anyway, so now we're having something to eat. And of course, Aurora is at the table, okay? But she's shouting guacamole, like she just wants the guacamole. I thought, hang on a second. Guacamole is very feckin' expensive. Where the hell did all this food come from? And like, who paid for it? And why is this child screaming for the guacamole? Like, we're getting guacamole, okay? That's grand, but we all have to share, okay? We all, that's the way that's going to work. We all have to share. So we all get a Dorito, right? And we all get, we're all allowed to dip it in and get a bit of guacamole. I didn't like this, okay? But I did notice that as the family is sitting down having their food, Aurora is sitting on her own. I guarantee you she took all of the fucking guacamole. You have to share that stuff, you know? It's so expensive, especially if you're buying it. Anyway, we're back on the sofa, okay? And the adults and Christine is telling us again, like, that she feels like that they're failing as a family, you know, and that she has been basically a single mother for the past 2 years. I thought, oof, it's not gonna get any better. But cheer up, okay? Because next week you are going on holiday, because it popped up at the end of this episode, and that's going to be our next recap. Now you know I love myself a Brown family chaotic road trip. Anyway, that is our recap, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.